Tonight on Point Blank, we are going all the way to Obuasi West. The reason is that we're going to talk to someone who served as a Deputy Minister of Finance. He's the man who represents the good people of Obuasi West. He used to be my friend. In fact, I remember his position under John Ofori was government spokesperson on finance. There was another portfolio added under Kufuor's administration, or it was just spokesperson on finance. You're welcome to Point Blank.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm well, thank you.
It's been a long time.
Yes, it has.
How is life treating you?
Life is fine.
It's good to see you.
It's good to see you too.
Yeah.
We've been busy trying to get the right leadership for this country.
Yeah.
And that is where we are supporting Kennedy Agyapong.
Oh, yeah. We'll get to Kennedy Agyapong, but because you mentioned Kennedy, I heard Ken. Ken used to be your former boss. He's in the US. He's not coming back. The government people are looking for him to come and face that. He's not coming now. He has been arrested and detained by the immigration officials in the US. What's your candid view on what's happening with Ken Ofori, your former boss, when you're Minister Deputy for Finance?
My candid view is that we need to wait, let the law take its course, and then we all know exactly what is happening in respect of the charges that have been prepared against him. It's hard to say anything at this point.
Would you not advise him to come home?
Well, I don't know whether he needs that advice, because the information we have had is that he wants to come back, but that there's a reason, I think medical or something to that effect. So I'm not sure he just doesn't want to come. Once, if that were the case, then I would suggest he comes back. But he probably wants to come back anyway, and that he's unable to do so for some reasons we may not have.
Okay. You have been watching President Mahama for the past 12 months. Yeah. He's president of the Republic. He's managed the country, the economy has been on proper footing. Would you celebrate him and say that he has done a great job over the past 1 year?
Well, over the past 1 year, I think we have seen some stability in the figures. And I think we should commend the government for that. It could have been worse. So we're happy. Today you listen to traders and they tell you that we're happy at least the cedi is seeing some stability. There is still a bit of instability deteriorating here and there, but generally people are more comfortable that the cedi has been stable over the last 1 year. Inflation is pretty down now, and so that is something to be celebrated. But I am happy cautiously, and I'm happy cautiously because this is just not the first time. It's happened many times in the past under various governments, and it has been short-lived. And the reason I am concerned on this occasion is I am not seeing the fundamental changes that have happened to, for instance, our balance of payment arrangements. I'm not seeing the reforms, the expenditure reforms, the reforms on the revenue side to break in more revenue, because that ultimately will hold the cedi. I'm not seeing those reforms. So I am tempted to think that this is just one of the many short-lived periods of stability we have seen in the past. And my call on government...
Is that a wish that is short-lived, or it's a fear? Are you wishing that
it's a fear? Why will I wish that? I'm a Ghanaian. Why will I wish that? Never. But I...
Based on history, you are careful.
Yes. I mean, if this was premised, the changes we're seeing were premised on some clear changes, policy changes, structural reform, the expenditure reforms, the revenue reforms, and that we're beginning to see a better balance between our revenues and our expenditures, then I'll be confident that we are heading somewhere. But I'm not seeing anything, and therefore I'm tempted to believe that it's just one of the many short-lived incidents of stability we have seen in the past.
But you cannot call it luck. It's not just by sheer luck. Someone is doing something. Your colleague for Ejuma Kwenyan SCM perhaps is doing something And that's why we are seeing what we are seeing.
Whatever he's doing to bring us this, I think is good. And I have no hesitation commending him and government for getting the system stable. What I am saying is that we have seen it before. In those instances too, the leaders of the economy may have done something. But the lesson is that unless these changes are premised on stronger changes in the structure of the economy, they will be short-lived, and that's my fear.
In the past few years, you and I speak, and you give me this statesman kind of posture or posturing, and you believe that let's come together and build this country. President Mahama has no accountability at the polls at the end of 4 years. I hold the view that he stands the best chance for building this country now. Could it be that because of that position and that fact that he has no elections, he can afford to be tight, and he is actually being tight, and that is why we are seeing what we are seeing?
I agree with the preamble. Yes, President Mahama has very little electoral risk for doing things right. And I think it is a reason he should do more. He is in a unique position, having been in government before, and coming back, he's in a unique position to say that the heavy lifting would happen. I am not running again. And in any event, I am one of those who believe that, contrary to what many believe, a government that is tough on reforms and would do the right things would ultimately get the support of the people. The suggestion that once you are tough, once you go after people who are not paying their taxes, once you rein in expenditure, that somehow you're going to lose the election. I don't believe that. And I think President Mahama is in a unique position to do the reforms I am calling for. So far, I have not seen much. I'm yet to see any clear change. Look, if you look at the big items in our expenditure profile, the wage bill, our interest payments, what are the policy positions or the changes government is pursuing on these lines? If we cannot discuss clear changes, then it's very much business as usual. And I take this opportunity to speak with the president and to say, you are not coming back. Please deploy the hard decisions that this country has been needing for so long.
This is Point Blank on Eyewitness News. My name is Omar Rusandam, and my guest is Honorable Kweku Kwarteng. He is NPP Member of Parliament for Obuasi West. He is former Deputy Minister of Finance. Incidentally, he served under Ken Ofori. Let's not talk about Ken Ofori's namesake, Kennedy Agyapong, the man you have decided to support.
Yes.
Why are you supporting?
We're supporting Kennedy because we are sick and tired of the suit-wearing, English-speaking gentlemen who go to the UN to speak beautiful English, come back home to deliver sloppy leadership. We've turned politics into a project for self-gain at the expense of the collective good. And I think we need a disruptor to change the status quo and to set Ghana on a path to a better future.
Kweku, what's your profession?
I'm an economist.
You are a suit wearer.
You
are a suit wearer. You've been responsible for our economy for at least 4 out of the last 8 years. You and your boss, Ken Ofori, he was not wearing suit, he was wearing white. You brought us down to this road.
Yes. So when I said we as politicians, we have failed our people, I don't take myself out.
Kennedy Agyapong is a politician.
Yes, but there comes a time in the life of a person or a country when you say we have been walking a certain path for so long, it has been unhelpful, and this is where we draw the line. It is the person that recognizes that and determines to chart a new path that must be given the support, and that's why we're supporting Kennedy Agyapong.
Do you not believe that the suit wearers, and we are using suit wearing here to mean the people,
the gentlemen who want to speak English and to come and do the administrative things, touch the surface of things, leave government, and then they think the country should take care of itself. Those are the people I'm calling suit-wearing, English-speaking politicians. We are sick and tired of them.
But you've been part of them.
I've been part of them. Look, let's not go back. It is not about me. I am saying that I have been there. I have been part of them. I'm part of the failure. But I am saying that before I die, I want to be part of a project that corrects the wrongs of the past. So it's not about being self-righteous. I'm not accusing anybody. I am saying that we have done enough as politicians in this country. It is about time to change behavior and to do the heavy lifting and the things that are required to change this country. And I see Kennedy Agyapong having the character to lead that kind of change, and I'm happy to support him.
How different is he from the regular politician?
I think Kennedy Agyapong is different in many ways. And characters like Kennedy Agyapong, they come once in a while. You have Kwame Nkrumah. At the time he got to Ghana, it wasn't as though the lawyers of my tradition were not interested in independence. They were, and indeed they were in discussions. It had to take Kwame Nkrumah to descend here on our political scene and to say, look, these guys, and I'm talking about the colonial masters, we have seen what they have done in South Africa. We have seen what they have done elsewhere. If you allow them to take more root, it will take a lot more bloodshed to get our independence. So we want independence now. People like that have a sense of urgency. We have seen Traoré in Burkina Faso, a young man changing things. Margaret Thatcher did it for Britain from 1979. Lee Kuan Yew did it for Singapore. I think Kennedy Agyapong is cast in that mold and he's of that character. And if we give him support, he would change the path we've been walking wrongly for so long.
What character of Kennedy Agyapong resonates with the character of our first president, Osajifo?
Passion and a sense of urgency.
Really?
And the courage to disrupt the status quo.
It's not enough disrupting. If you disrupt, you fix. Now, if you disrupt and you don't have the expertise to fix.
But you must disrupt first.
Yeah, but you can disrupt and then the country is broken completely.
Look, that is the reason you see a Kennedy Agyapong project or a government that wants to do things fresh would not be made up of one person. All right? I have been in government and I have worked with superiors who would not give you the kind of support you need. Sometimes all you need is, if you like, a madman who says, these changes must be done. You have my full support. Anybody gets in your way, tell them, I want it to happen. That it's not the president going to do the hands-on thing. So the point I'm making is this. Kennedy Agyapong has the character not to be afraid of change, not to confront the status quo, not to disrupt what we have been doing wrong for so long. He has a character to do it. And I think he would do it and provide the space for the technical people to drive the changes that we've been needing for so long.
Kennedy Agyapong is a madman, quote and unquote, for you, who can
I think, yes, he has a toughness and the passion and the sense of urgency to drive the changes that I want to see. You have been a member of the NPP since you were born.
Yes. You have watched Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo want to be president for 20 years, from 1997 to 2017. We were told when he was in opposition that he was a tough guy who was going to come and face the country. He was a no-nonsense guy, the incorruptible Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, the man who was old and had his own money already and was not going to come and steal our money and all of that. The man who said, if you want to make money, go into the private sector. He superintended over this country for 8 years. You were his deputy minister of finance. You know how the economy was, and that what the economy was is what resulted in the results you got at the polls. If we believed Akufo-Addo and we voted for him as Ghanaians, and the no-nonsense you were expecting did not happen, what's the guarantee that Kennedy Agyapong, the non-suit wearing man, the no-nonsense man you are celebrating now, would be any different than Akufo-Addo?
I have related to him. I have spoken with Mr. Kennedy Agyapong. I've watched him. And I can tell you that he has the ingredients required of a leader that wants to drive change.
You did the same with President Akufo-Addo.
Well, you know, I don't want to turn this discussion to a comparison between Ken and Addo.
No, because
these are different individuals. I did not come to your...
I know, but okay, Honorable Kwekukatin, it's good to know where we were before we know where we are going to, or how we got where we are. And I'm saying that you used to be key spokesperson of your party when you were in opposition. 2009 to 2016. You projected a Nana Akufo-Addo on us. And I'm not saying this with any disrespect. He has been president for 8 years.
Yes.
The votes you MPP got in 2024, many blame your failure at the polls on Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo's presidency, which you were part of. And I'm saying that if you packaged Akufo-Addo and sold to us in 2016, and we've seen what we have seen, why should we believe this new package you are selling to us? We should know you. There's a track record. We can say that, oh, look, Kweku is the one. He told us the last time we went and this is how it ended. Why should we trust him now?
Before Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo became president, I never came to your studio to tell you that the political elite has failed this country and that we need a non-conventional leader to disrupt the status quo. I have never put out that message. It is because we have all been partisan for a long time, believing that by virtue of being in the same political party with us, your policies are necessarily right. I am older now. I have seen a lot in politics, and I have come to lose my appetite completely for partisanship. Today, I'm telling you that the political elite on both sides of the political divide have failed in our duty to drive the kind of development envisaged at the dawn of our independence. And I am saying that we need a character that is not necessarily partisan. We need a disruptor. We need somebody to fix the things we have been doing wrong in politics, some of which have become acceptable. I have never communicated that message. I am communicating it of Mr. Kennedy Agyapong because I honestly believe that people like Kennedy Agyapong, they come once in a while.
Okay. What do you make of Kennedy Agyapong's temperament? And how can that temperament lead a country? You have not been a full minister before, but I'm sure you may have gone to cabinet once or twice. You've seen the kind of things that have to be dealt with in cabinet. You may have an inkling and idea as to how to run a country and a government. You think Kennedy Agyapong's temperament can run a country, a cabinet, a government?
I'll answer you two ways. First, see, the man who has built businesses, who runs a media house like this.
Media conglomerate, actually.
And he has set up many factories. I think it is wrong for us to suggest that somehow he has a temperament that is not capable of even setting up a business. All right? So the Kennedy Agyapong that has been able to create jobs for people, the Kennedy Agyapong that has taken on a lot of fights that will not bring benefits to himself, is a Kennedy Agyapong we're presenting as the change driver. Now, as to whether his temperament would get in the way of government, look, I have no shame saying that I am not one of those who are advising Kennedy Agyapong to now be sober and gentle.
He should fire on.
We need the fire.
He should continue insulting.
When I say fire, I mean the passion that drives change.
But the fire includes he insulting.
But yes, there may be excesses, and it is fine.
And
that
even that one he should continue?
Well, he can't continue. He can continue.
Can or can't? I didn't get that.
He can't.
He can't.
And it is the reason it is good that now we are seeing a more moderate version of him. I guess he himself growing up will begin to cut out the excesses of this kind of assertive temperament.
Would he not be old wine in a new bottle?
But well,
so he was insulting, then suddenly he wants to be president, then he stops insulting. Then if he wins, then he goes back to insult.
But that is the point I'm making to you, that it is, in fact, it's the madness that we need.
Yes, which includes the insults on chiefs,
look, you cannot
on doctors, on people who go to church, on everybody.
See,
you need that.
When you have a strong personality, you are not going to get it 100%. I have many strong points. I do not think I'm perfect. I do not think, Omari, you are perfect.
No.
I think it is wrong for people to pick your weaknesses and to bastardize your entire personality. That when we talk about needing a person's sense of urgency and fire, then we turn it into a description of insults. Nobody I'm not here to assess the morality of Kennedy Agyapong.
But that's part of the package.
Yes, but
you're an Ashanti. There's something they say, my tree is not good, but if you insult, they say yentiti with you. How do you say it?
Listen, it's okay. Let me say this.
Mm-hmm.
See, I would rather have a strong character that can confront the dark forces of our governance space, but would insult. I would prefer such a person to a timid leader, speaking good English, never insulting, never responding to provocation, lining their pocket, leaving power and leaving this country poorer. I would choose the former. And so I am happy that we're beginning to see Ken deal with some of the excesses of his assertive personality. What I am saying is that let us not throw the baby away with the washwater. And I even get a bit nervous when I see people talk about be gentle, be gentle. I said, look, some of us are following him because of the fire, because we think we need that to fix this country. Be careful how you advise the man to become like the other politicians who just want to come and scratch the surface of problems, and then they leave us poorer. So the point I'm making is this. He may have his faults, and it is good that people like you continue to point it out to him so that he can deal with those excesses. But for Christ's sake, let us maintain the character, the steel character that is required to confront the dark forces that continues to drag this country back.
Critics of Donald Trump say he's a child in a big man's body and that he became president and is toying with the presidency of the U.S. Critics say what he did was temperamental. For instance, going to, abduct a president in his country and bring it to his country and do whatever. He could easily press a button. He could change his mind. He governs the country on Twitter. There are also critics of Kennedy Agyapong who say he has characters or characteristics of Donald Trump. That if he becomes president, he would behave the way we are seeing President Trump behave. Is that what you want?
He would not. Look, we need to do a more proper assessment of Donald Trump. I have not done so. But it is not for nothing that he ruled America for 4 years, lost election, all right? I think his defeat was caused largely by the COVID and his attitude to COVID. And then the American people sat down after 4 years and said, we want this man back. All right. Look, whenever those of us who are gentle and pleasant and polished, whenever we misgovern and we leave the people hungry for tough, assertive leadership, they will always go to people who can provide that. And it is one of the reasons I think Kennedy Agyapong is going to win the primaries, and I think he would win the Bain election in 2028. And I'm confident that when he has done that, working with his people, we would deliver the kind of leadership that this country has been hungry for so long.
Honorable Kweku Kwarteng, you served in the first term of the Akufo-Addo administration. In the second term, you were not appointed. What would you say to a critic who say you are angry with the Akufo-Addo system, which includes Dr. Bawumia, and out of that anger and disappointment that you have not been appointed, you decided to go and support Kennedy Agyapong?
Well, in 2023, I supported Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia.
Yes, but that was because you were still in power. But now that there's no power.
Look, you built a premises for your question. Let's not run away from it. What you said was that because after the first term, that is 2021, I was not appointed. I probably am taking it out on Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia. I'm saying that happened in 2021.
Yes.
In 2023, when perhaps if what you're saying is anything to go by, when
you should not have supported him.
I should not, and I did.
So you supported Dr. Bawumia against Kennedy?
Yes. So it takes away the basis of your question. So we should move to the next question.
No, it does not take away the basis of my question. The basis of my question is that at the time you were in government, and there's this whole three-line whip thing from presidency all the way to parliament. So there was a view that, the system has whipped all of you, so go and support that. And that's what you did. But now that you have your free will, because Akufo-Addo is not there, there's no president, you're in opposition, you have now decided that let me show them where Pepe is.
Look, when I was outside, when I left the ministry,
yes,
I was a chairman for the finance committee, and I stood against a number of government policies. In fact, if you recall, I had issues with the executive at the tail end, and so so if you know, then don't suggest that let people who don't know begin to believe.
But that's why you're here, so you respond for yourself, and I'm happy you responded for yourself.
If you know, you don't provoke that question. Am I not answer it correctly?
No, there are people who may not know. There are people who may not know and who may have the same question, and so I've asked for their interest. 31st January, why should an MPP delegate listening to you and I vote for Kennedy Agyapong against the other four?
Well, I think 31st January we should vote for Kennedy Agyapong because, one, he represents the change that this country wants. When I say change, it's a change from a certain style of leadership. Ghana has, in my view, been running to the IMF every 3.5 years. Botswana, an African country like us, can say we don't need the IMF. We've never needed them. We would never need them. And Ghana, a proud country like Ghana, we've been to the IMF, we've been to our development partners 19 times if you add HIPIC and the Structural Adjustment Program. We have been mismanaging our affairs. The way we have been running this country is to incur over expenditures every year. And so we borrow from new lenders to finance the current over expenditure, and then we borrow more.
And continue.
To finance the debt we took yesterday. Look, where are we going? And it is what is resulting in the instability in the economy and the inability of the private sector to provide the kind of job opportunities they should provide. I am saying that unless there is a change in attitude towards the management of public resources, unless there's more honesty, this idea of go and borrow, award contracts, take kickbacks, and then we mismanage the economy, we run with propaganda, we go into opposition, and we criticize the government for the very things we did when we
come back and continue.
Where is that taking us? So I'm asking the average MPP delegate that we must break that cycle. Okay. That Kennedy Agyapong has the character and the toughness of mind to confront this unhelpful status quo, and we need to give him the chance. And it is the NPP that would do it.
Okay.
Fellow delegate, if you're listening to me, it is the NPP that would do it. If NPP doesn't do it, no political party will. And for NPP to do it, we need a leader like Kennedy Agyapong to lead the NPP to occupy its place in the development of this country by doing things more right than we have done in the past.
Is Kennedy Agyapong your best out of the five or one of the best? And I'm asking this so that...
He's the best.
He's the best.
He's the best. And
if he fails, does it mean the NPP will not be led by its best?
It's true. If Kennedy Agyapong does not win, of course one of the other candidates would win. Of course we're going to support that candidate, but NPP would have missed the opportunity to provide its best at the polls. And I also think...
On a personal principle, if one of the suit wearers wins against Kennedy Agyapong, would you support still?
To the extent that that suit wearer is better than the candidate of the other political parties, I will have to make do with that. But we have the opportunity to go for the real deal. Okay.
Last question.
Yes.
Religion, ethnicity. Are you supporting Kennedy Agyapong because he's not a Muslim and a Northerner?
Well, when I supported Dr. Bawumia the last time in 2023, Kennedy Agyapong's religion was still the same. I don't take religion and that into account. I do not think if a person has the mind and the character and the strength to drive change, it should matter whether or not he belongs to one religion or the other. So I don't buy that. In fact, those who have followed the way I relate to national politics will tell you that I want results, and I don't really mind where it comes from. On this occasion, I think we'll be able to get those results from Mr. Kennedy Agyapong, and I urge all of us, including you, the media, to support him in this. Look, this project is a national project. It is a deviation for the partisan politics that we have seen in the past. We want to present a new political project to the people of this country, and we want the opportunity to do so.
Honorable Kweku Kwatin, NPP Member of Parliament, Obuasi West, former Deputy Minister to Ken Ofori at the Finance Ministry. Thank you for joining us on Point Blank.
Thank you too. Thank you too for having me.
And wish you all the best.
Thank you so much.
I am Omar Rusandamado. This has been Eyewitness News. We'll be back tomorrow at 17:30 GMT. In production tonight, Kwabena Wilson, Beverly London, Sami Wiafi, Fred Tete Jabano, Chris Kevin Esima, Juliana Odami Asari. Emmanuel Latte helped us with the technical production. New media support by Emmanuel Osu and the new media team. We'll be back